Hi there folks, we're Travel with Johnny and Will, and we are currently on board Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas. This is our 20th cruise and our first time cruising with Royal Caribbean, and today we're going to chat about what we did yesterday, which was day 5, and we visited the port of Coruna in Spain.
So we decided to do something a little bit different for breakfast today. We wanted to order room service breakfast. And in order to do this, there is a form within your room. Now, we didn't have the form. We had seen it on other guests' door handles. We thought, okay, we need to fill in a form. But when you phoned down, they said they were doing away with the form, and all you had to do was basically tell them what you wanted and the time you wanted it delivered.
Yeah, the menu is actually, the full menu for the room service is actually on the Royal Caribbean app. Just in case you're wondering, well, how do I know what I can and what I cannot have? It's all on the app, and then basically whenever you phone up, you just tell them, what exactly you want. So like for us, we just simply ordered 2 orange, I think it was like tea for 2, cereals and 2 pastries. And it came sort of right on time. So the delivery time slots they give you is nearly like a half an hour. So we picked the delivery slot between 8:15 and 8:45. And which I thought was really good was room service actually rang you whenever your order was literally leaving wherever it is that they're based. So it was kind of cool because like if you're just getting up for breakfast and you're sort of maybe like, not exactly decent, it means then you can throw on you in time for then the cabin steward coming to the door.
Yeah, and the reason we did that is because we needed to head out quickly this morning for our planned excursion with Royal Caribbean. So our time was 9:40 and the meetup point was the Royal Theatre. So we literally got to the Royal Theatre at 9:40. We were given a number 12 sticker and we were told to make our way right outside.
It was quite funny because whenever we had arrived, we noticed. Well, you noticed.
I noticed people with number 12 stickers,
but we didn't realise we were number 12 until we actually went into the theatre. So we literally came into the top end of the theatre. We were told to go right down to the bottom to where the stage was,
where the little table was. Yeah.
Yeah, we were given our stickers, and then this lady basically showed us right back up the staircase again, and then out. So our excursion, we pre-booked before coming on board the cruise. You can do that online, or whenever you get on board, you can book obviously at the shore excursions desk. Our tour was a panoramic tour of Coruña, and then a visit basically to a beer museum.
Yeah. So when we got outside, I think we asked one of the guides where the bus was, and he just directed us to the buses, and the number 12 correlated to the number 12 bus, and that meant we were able to get right on. Now at this stage it was a little bit wet, so we were thinking, oh no, this isn't good, but straight onto the bus, and our tour guide, she introduced herself. Now the ticket said it wasn't an audio described guide that we had booked. It was just someone that would be there like
a chaperone.
Like a chaperone. But alas, she pretty much talked the entire time, and it was quite good. It was quite good. But yes, our first stop on that. So we went out of the port, which takes quite a while compared to just walking out of the port. It seems to have to take another roundabout route, and we went like to the north part of Coruna, to this lighthouse, which was originally built in the 1st century, which I was amazed by because she was like, oh, it's a lighthouse from the 1st century. But then when I'd read the leaflet, it said it had been like refurbished and rebuilt within like the 1700s. So it was a bit of a lie. But I mean, I thought we were looking at something that was literally 2,000 years old. So
it withstood time.
But it looked so good. I thought this can't be right.
So basically, Will hasn't told you yet what the lighthouse is called.
Hercules Tower.
Yeah, so Hercules Tower. We didn't have time to do the walk up to it, and then you can go inside and climb to the top of the tower. We only literally had a 15-20 minute stop to take pictures and things, but the tour guide basically told us the best place to go to get the pictures. So we did as we were told. Then after going to the lighthouse, we continued on And again, she was giving you more information about A Coruña and, you know, about the people that live there, about the climate, etc. And it was really interesting.
Yeah, like she was saying that they don't have air conditioning because historically they have what is called siesta and fiesta. Isn't that right, Johnny?
Yes, but the real reason she said initially was the fact that they've got the wind, because it can be a windy place.
Yeah.
So a lot of the buildings around the ports and the coastal areas don't have air conditioning because they all get the wind.
But they were saying that because of climate change, it's becoming warmer now, so it's a little bit more tricky without that air conditioning.
But yeah, she was telling us about then the 2 times that they enjoy in La Coruña is fiesta and siesta. So basically lots of food and drink and then time to sleep it off basically in the afternoon.
So after the Hercules Tower, we drove on round past what was the aquarium, which we visited the last time. We'll stick a link into that video above if you want to check that out from the last time we visited La Coruna. And then we basically went past the beach and then we went a little bit more off that main part to make our way to the beer museum.
So the local beer is called Estrella Galicia. I hope I said that right and did it justice. And our tour, like I say, included entrance to that museum, which is part of the actual working sort of factory where they produce the beer. Now you don't go into the actual factory where they're producing the beer. There is a museum that was built on the original factory site. And then the other factory is sort of slightly behind it. But yeah, it was a great tour. It basically started off about like the origins of making the beer and their origins as a company, the raw materials obviously that they use, you know, in terms of
like the barley and obviously the yeast, and there was a little
water.
station where you could put your hand out and you could try the different barley types. Now I tried one that was really charcoaly and burnt, and then the other one was like a carameled one or something. It was sweeter, and you quite liked that one too.
Yeah. We didn't want to try the hops though because they were even just the smell of the hops.
The smell! Oh, it smelled like dog food or something. It smelled really bad.
To be fair, our dog food probably.
But you weren't meant to eat the hops. You were only meant to sniff it. But then the woman did say to me, taste it. But then when I read it, it said, don't taste it.
Yeah. Don't always trust the tour guide.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they then sort of talk a lot about like the water that they use, because obviously it's the water from this area. And then you go into the bottling section, which is part of the actual factory. So we couldn't film or take any photos in there.
See all the bottles backing up, and they were like swirling and going up this conveyor thing. Oh, but one part you missed, Johnny. There was a hologram. Do you remember the hologram part where there was a guy who was the original
master brewer?
Yes. So that was really cool. I'll insert a wee bit of here just to, because it looked so real.
I know.
But it was completely fake. But it was really, really well done.
Yeah, it sort of talked mainly about the history of the master brewers and things like that. And yeah, it was really cool actually, because he really did look real. But after the bottling plant, there's then a section which looks at their advertising and how their advertising has evolved over the years.
And there was all the different bottles and styles over the years as well, which was interesting.
So it was good to sort of see, like, even them as a brand, how they have evolved over the period of time that they've been going, which has been quite some time. And then the most important part that any beer drinker will love is the tasting at the end. So they take you into this sort of large sort of bar area. We got to try 2 different kinds of beer. One was like a lager. It was quite light. I'm not a beer drinker. Will would be the beer drinker out of the two of us. But I quite liked the light beer.
Was that the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was nice. The second one was very fizzy. Had a lot of gas in it.
Yeah, although it was a darker colour and it was sort of a tasted
aftertaste was
heavier, but And it was okay to drink, but then afterwards it left a real strange taste. So yeah, I didn't drink that, but I drank the lighter beer. Um, what I didn't see was anybody drinking soft drinks. Um, because obviously, for example, if we wanted to go on this tour because you're the beer drinker
And you didn't
and I
want.
didn't want the beer,
Yeah, they didn't really offer that, but
You
no
know-
one. Either no one asked at all.
or everybody just liked beer, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, they booked a tour to the beer
I know.
museum, Johnny.
But like I've been to like the Guinness factory in Dublin many times.
You don't have to get a pint of Guinness.
And you don't have to get a pint of Guinness. Now, I've had a pint of Guinness there once, and I drank maybe about half of it. But then every time I've been back since, because I've maybe been with other visitors that have came over to visit me, or, yeah, I haven't drank it. I've always just opted for a soft drink then, and then let the visitors try the Guinness. So that didn't seem to be an option. But we did get some lovely crisps.
And unfortunately, we had to share a packet because we were last in the hall because we were like wanting to see like advertising. They were like drinking the beer and eating the crisps like 20 minutes before us.
I know.
And then we basically got the last two seats. There was one packet of measly crisps sitting there and we had to share them. And I was sitting going, I could like drink the beer if there was more crisps. And then luckily he came out with more crisps, which was like prayers were answered. So.
Yeah. Actually, Will liked the crisps so much he was tempted to buy this big tin of crisps. We'll put a photo on here of them because from the gift shop. But we sort of thought like, how are we going to get this into our suitcase?
No, it was a paint can. It was the
Yeah, it
size
was
of
like
a
a
2.5 litre paint can of crisps.
Yeah, we were sort of just like, this isn't going to fit in our suitcase
No.
coming home. Well, to be fair, it probably wouldn't have even made it home knowing you with crisps. But yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed our visit to Estrella Galicia. I probably wouldn't be converted to drink beer now, but you probably would order a pint of the lighter stuff.
Yeah. Oh, one wee point we missed. There was a section where you got to taste the beer as it was going through the process. So we'll insert these clips. I don't think it was very nice. No.
Well, you can tell by
The
Will's
first
face.
clips are the nice ones, and the second ones are where it wasn't very. It was like earlier in the process,
Yeah.
so it just tasted like hops. No.
So after our visit to the Bear Museum, we basically then made our way back to the ship. It took maybe about 20 minutes to sort of get through the route. Like I say, the tour is panoramic, so it's just sort of taken us a bit of a detour around.
I was surprised by that we were going back because she originally said it is now 10 a.m. We are leaving and we will return at 2 p.m. And we were back for, was it 20 past half one?
Yeah, we're back a bit early, but
Yeah.
it was no big deal. Like.
It was fine, yeah.
And once back on board, we tried to go to the main dining room, because normally on ships, there's always a main dining room option for lunch, as well as the buffets and pool grills and all that kind of thing.
Whether it's just one of the main dining
Yeah.
rooms, because a lot of people don't bother with that for lunch.
But there wasn't.
Not one.
Yeah, not one restaurant was open for lunch. So our options then were the Windjammer or the 270 cafe at the aft of the ship. So we opted for 270.
So yes, at 270 they had some pre-made wraps and little rolls. They also had soups. So both of us had the mushroom soup and I had a little tuna wrap as well.
I had a roll with roast beef and gravy.
Yeah. So there's good offerings in that little 270 cafe and they do change throughout the day. So yeah, just keep an eye out and yeah, there's always something you'll
And there's a
find.
large salad section.
Yes.
The salads looked amazing, and I sort of was thinking, why haven't we came here for lunch earlier in the cruise? Because I would love to get back to that salad bar at some point.
And in the corner as well, there was a full-on coffee station with little sweet treats. Now these were all paid for, but they say they brew Starbucks coffee, and a lot of people seem to be running about their Starbucks cups, so it must have been quite good.
Yeah, there are desserts and sweet treats that are included if you don't want to pay for them. We think I ended up just having a couple of cookies between us.
Yeah, and there's always like fruit or something out as well. Yeah, and just when you're mentioning desserts there, Johnny, yeah, I had all the desserts because the tuna wrap from the picture you'll see it was tiny. So I had a little pot of fruit, a bit of the pound cake, and a cookie.
So after we had lunch in the 270, we stayed on for a bit because the Caribbean band were starting to play, and we had saw them a few days ago out on the pool deck, and they sounded pretty good. So we stayed there and listened to them for a bit. Then we decided to come back to our cabin to rest up for a bit before our evening started.
Yeah, we had a surprise guest in the cabin by way of a towel elephant. So it's been a while since we've had towel animals on any cruise, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but our cabin steward seems to be quite talented at this because...
We've had an elephant.
And the first day we had a dog.
Yes, and yeah.
So we've had 2 so far, yeah. But yeah, so we had a rest up this afternoon for a bit, and then we decided to get ready just for the sail away from Coruña, and then get ready for going out for our evening.
It was such a bright evening. The sail away was really, really beautiful from La Coruna. So yeah, here's some footage of that. So we went to the MDR for dinner, and for us this was the American Icon Grill. And as we were going in, the staff were doing like a dance, like a conga line, like part of the Caribbean night celebration. So they were feeling hot, 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 and there was a lot of dancing to go on with that. Now, I was anxious because we were out in the queue, and I was like, let us in, I want to record this. So, yeah, it was just nice to see the staff happy in their work and having a little dance.
So we'll insert some footage to that now. So tonight, for starters, we both had the same thing, which was this pulled pork kind of bao bun, and wow, it has been the nicest starter that I've had so far on this cruise. 2 little tiny bao buns.
Now yours was definitely bigger than mine, so that was annoying. And yours had more like sauce and filling.
Oh, there was like sweet chili sauce in it, and there was like little like shredded pieces of onion and carrot, and it was just yum. To be honest, I could have probably just ate those for all night instead of having a main course and a dessert. And then for our main course, I had shepherd's pie. Which came on the plate basically with some vegetables. The shepherd's pie, it was very rich in flavour. Lamb wouldn't be something I would really buy much at home and cook because I don't like the smell of cooking lamb.
I can't stand the smell of it.
In the house.
Horrible.
And so, but it was really, oh my goodness, it's probably the nicest shepherd's pie I've had in a long time.
I had the chicken korma, and like a funny thing about the chicken korma was that the chicken was all brown meat, but it was very, very tender, and it just literally fell apart when the fork touched it. Really good flavour, really, really enjoyed it. And then for my dessert, I had, which was the recommended dessert for Caribbean night, the pineapple sunshine. It was a tart, wasn't it? Yeah. Cake. Amazing. Just really, really good. Absolutely loved it.
I had the carrot cake, and again, I couldn't fault it. It was really, really beautiful.
Another thing about tonight was that this service was supersonic.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as they lifted our plate, we would have chatted, and then literally it was just there. It was ridiculous how fast they were coming out.
The thing you have to remember too is that we're going bang right in the middle of the first dining.
Yeah, like
the first dining starts to have 5:30, and we were arriving in about 6:15, 6:30. So you're right bang in the middle of people getting their meals, and then we just rock up looking for a table, and to be served. But it was super quick.
It was unbelievably quick. Yeah,
we've been really impressed with the service considering the size of the ship and the size of the dining rooms and things like that. We've been really impressed.
After dinner, then we wanted to go to a bar we hadn't been before on deck 5. the Bionic bar. So we had seen the robots sitting, but obviously they're not turned on until there's like a person watching the robots, someone from Royal Carpet, like a waiter.
The robot's friend.
The robot's friend and helper. Because we wanted to just order a drink, see what it was like, and see how it compared to the likes of Rob on, say, the Starship Club, on MSC Virtuosa. So there's alcoholic and non-alcoholic options, so it's great if you have kids and they want to see the robot make their drink. And in terms of prices, because we didn't have a drinks package, and do we know if the drinks, I think if you have a drinks package you can get drinks from this included as part of your package, but for us we don't. So a non-alcoholic drink was $4, and for an alcoholic drink they all looked like they were $12.
$12, yeah. I had this really beautiful one. It was very like tropical sort of flavoured. I can't even remember now what it was called, but you then had a mocktail called a Rainbow.
A Rainbow, and then I had a Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
And in terms of the portion, it was a full drink. I think we found with Rob, it wasn't...
Yeah, so you're not getting your cup filled.
You weren't getting your cup filled, whereas this you really were.
Yeah.
And it was just fun to just sit there and watch the robot stir the drink like this, or like shake it really hard, and it was funny.
Yeah, it was good. You know, now the only thing is I would have liked to have seen both.
Only one seemed to be going. I don't know what they would have to have done to make the other one work.
Yeah, unless maybe just one is switched on, maybe because the bar wasn't busy or whatever. But the thing is we sat there for a while. Like there was more and more people coming, and the good thing about this bar is that there's tablets on the tables that you can use to order, and you obviously use your CPAS card to sort of tap on it, and then obviously order your drink. And then you'll see the waiting list on the screen and where you're, when you're going to be served. The good thing about those tablets is that they're easily lifted off the table. So like at one point we were sitting and there was a group of people came and they were sort of standing just at a ledge behind us, and they had asked for the tablets so they could order drinks. So like by the time we were leaving, it was quite busy there. So while sitting in the Bionic bar, we decided to check the app because we wanted to see what time the show was on in the main theatre at this evening. We knew there was a magician that was going to be on, and I wanted to make sure that we didn't miss him. And the thing is with the app, things have been disappearing on the app this week. It seems that there's different sections in the app, for there's like all activities, entertainment, restaurants, lifestyle, spa, and if you select it, they're all little like filters. But I went to like all, and the magician wasn't there.
But then if you went to theatre or entertainment, it was there.
So we decided that because we were there at the Bionic bar, we would just go and check out the theatre ourselves. There is a screen outside, and yes, it was advertised as coming on at 9:30. So we had another drink and then headed into the theatre.
So the magician on board was called James Rawlings, and now he has appeared previously on Britain's Got Talent, for any of you that know that show. And as a magician, I found him more of a comedian. I thought he was just really funny in the things he was saying. But yes, as a magician, it was quite funny, and there was a lot of audience participation. It was a good show.
Yeah, like I heard a lot of people complaining, sort of saying it was like a kids' party magician.
It was.
Which it kind of was. But like I can't juggle 3 pieces of furniture.
No.
I can't juggle hats. I can't pull the tablecloth off a table with like cutlery and things on it.
No.
But he did a really good card trick at the end, which really sort of blew my mind. And I sort of thought, if he just could have done more of this kind of stuff, it would have entertained me more. But as well said, he was a super funny guy. More just so the things he was saying and the way he was saying it and the way his mannerisms, he was quite amusing to watch. But again, look, Anthem of the Seas, it's a very family orientated ship. So again, they're
have to appeal to a broader
I don't
audience,
think they're going to start showing, magicians in the theatre of like, someone sticking a dagger through another person's body, for kids to be watching that and think, I'll try that on my sister when I get home, So, but it was really, really funny.
So after the show, because we had an early start, we actually just ended up heading straight to bed. so that closes off our day 5 on board Anthem of the Seas. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like down below and consider subscribing and ring that bell so you don't miss out on our next video in this series. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.